These abandoned pups refused to leave each other's side, and then they got a heartwarming ending. As the saying goes, a dog is man's best friend. When two canines were abandoned and left on the street, however, they found companionship in each other. Indeed, even after they'd been rescued and taken to a shelter, the doggy duo wouldn't part. Meet Bonnie and Clyde, two adorable pooches strolling the streets in Arizona without an owner. In time, they were scooped up and taken to the Maricopa County Animal Care and Control, MCACC, in Phoenix, where they were fed, sheltered, and given some good old TLC. Clyde, the little one, is a Chihuahua mix and was still just a pup when he was rescued. Bonnie, on the other hand, is a Labrador Retriever mix and several years his senior. According to the shelter, Clyde is energetic and adores attention, a firecracker, whereas Bonnie is the chilled-out, more mellow one of the two. And the dogs themselves are named after the infamous criminal duo Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow. The couple's 1930s robbery spree across the United States has made them two of the most notorious outlaws in American history. Furthermore, although it's not known whether Bonnie and Clyde were abandoned by the same owner or if they formed an attachment later on, it quickly became obvious to shelter staff, though, that the two dogs were incredibly close. Yes, Bonnie and Clyde would nap together, play together, and go for walks together. Clyde would even become agitated if Bonnie ever walked outside of his field of vision. And friendships can sometimes act as coping mechanisms for animals who find themselves abandoned. According to Jose Santiago, a public information officer for MCACC, two dogs will occasionally form a close bond in order to help each other through a stressful situation. Indeed, there was one particular aspect of these canine companions' relationship that may have raised some eyebrows. How? Well, it was all to do with how little Clyde interacted with his taller buddy. Typically, he chose to sit on top of Bonnie. That's right, whenever the two dogs chose to go for a stroll, Clyde would ride along on Bonnie's back. Even just hanging out in their kennel, the small Chihuahua mix would be perched happily atop his larger part Labrador chum. Of Clyde's choice to sit on Bonnie, Santiago would explain in a 2017 interview with the dodo, "Initially, we thought it was a fluke, but it started happening a lot," he added. "And now it's unusual to not see Bonnie and Clyde that way. They are as bonded as you can imagine." But as the pair of pooches' friendship continued to blossom, shelter staff realized that they may be faced with a problem. The dogs would have to be adopted as a pair. If separated, they may be heartbroken, and clearly they'd already been through enough. It's comforting to know that Bonnie and Clyde are bonded so strongly to alleviate any stress, Santiago added to the dodo, but it also stresses the importance of them going home together. In fact, the devoted dogs and their heartwarming story began making local headlines, while pictures of Bonnie carrying around Clyde on her back spread across social media. Upon hearing the pair's tale and seeing the shots, internet users would also offer comments of delight and surprise. "Someone please adopt these two soon," one Facebook user wrote in response to an MCACC post about the dogs. "I love this picture of them. Please, everyone share their story so that they can get adopted this weekend. They've been there a month now," another user commented. And then, sure enough, it began to look as if the shelter staff's wish of a forever home for Bonnie and Clyde would finally be granted. One family who had come across the duo's story on Instagram visited the care center eager to learn more. So in the end, the Hayes couldn't resist the pair's bond and came to the pooch's rescue. That's right, the family adopted Bonnie and Clyde together and took them home. What's more, MCACC often uses social media to keep customers up to date with pooches who are up for adoption, as was the case with Bonnie and Clyde. Understandably, then, the facility posted an update on Facebook to let everyone know that the pair had gone to a happy home together. Certainly, Bonnie and Clyde did indeed look delighted with their adoptive family, and of course, many people who'd followed the pair's story were thrilled by the good news. What a wonderful shelter to think about the best interests of the dogs, and what a wonderful forever family, one Facebook user wrote after seeing the photos of the dogs with their new owners. Sadly, though, abandoned dogs like Bonnie and Clyde don't always find their happy endings. According to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, around 6.5 million animals are given to shelters annually. Indeed, the doggy duo are lucky, as thanks to social media, the shelter was able to find them a forever home, and hopefully, many other animals will find a friendship like Bonnie and Clyde's. After all, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there.